Welcome. My name is Miss Jill. I want to thank you for tuning in and ask that you stay with us, as this week we will be discussing finances and financial institutions. So tonight we're going to have a little something different. We brought the wheel back out, so we're going to go ahead and spin that and have some talk about money.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit about money. You got something, Jill? Why you laugh? I just need to borrow a couple of bucks.
You take quarters?
I ain't take quarters. That's a blank spot because it don't show up in the purple.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought purple meant we was gonna talk about Prince.
Credit cards, good or bad?
That's a good one. It seems like every time you turn around, too, regardless of what stage of your life you're in, you get those things in the mail. It used to be more of mail, and now it's emails, left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think about credit cards? I mean, I personally think that it's a little bit of both, depending on the consumer.
Yeah, I would say that. What
you say both good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you are disciplined with your credit cards, I'm not one to have a stack of credit cards, but I have seen people that have 20 and 30 credit cards. And I think that's overboard. But if you're disciplined with those credit cards, I'm sure you can use them to your advantage.
Yeah, and I'm agree with Doc V. Think about it. A lot of us don't have readily a paycheck that would cover something if something happens, a car breakdown, an emergency or something. Yeah. A lot of us doesn't have that readily cash. So if you got a credit card and if you're smart with it, you can use that in that form or that fashion. But the problem is you got to know what credit card you're getting.
Right.
Because you got to know the interest rates on those credit cards because some of them can be up to almost 40% annual percent. You paying, you're
That's bad all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and they say pay it off when it's due.
Yeah.
But, but I think like Doc V said, the good and the bad, it depends on the circumstances. But in the case of emergency, I think they're good to have.
Well, a lot of them too have like rewards.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like the flying miles and all of that. So I think there's a lot. I know someone came to me the other day, and actually it was at work, and she had said that she got an offer for a credit card, and she asked me if it was normal to have to pay a processing fee. Well, what it was her credit was
low,
very low.
That's
so her limit was $300. Well, right off the top, she had like an $89. By the time it was all said and done,
she had
$125. And it's like, that's, what we talk about with the subprime and the predatory lending and everything like that. So yeah, I think it's definitely consumer based.
Yeah.
Being wise about it.
Yeah, the price of paying for, or the price of using somebody else's money.
Yeah, exactly.
So catch up with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But you got to know, you got to pay that money back. But some people think it's free money, but yeah.
It might be for a little bit.
Yeah.
How important is it to, hold on, I got to turn it.
Yeah.
How important is insurance? Car, home, health, and life.
I can speak on that one. It's very important, especially when your house catch on fire. Like, I didn't know, like when my apartment caught on fire, it didn't pay. My insurance didn't cover the whole thing. So yeah, guess what? They came to see me.
Right.
See me. So you have to understand when you do get insurance, you gotta make sure you read the fine print because a lot of it. Some of it don't cover everything that you think you covered.
Exactly. Good point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I can speak personally on rental insurance. As a previous property manager, a lot of people. So when you rent, for instance, when you rent an apartment, let's say, so the owner has insurance on the structure. Period. None of your content. So let's say there were to be a fire, or let's even say that your water heater, so something no fault of your own, everything floods. So the landlord is only responsible to replace things in the unit, such as like the carpet, anything within the structure. So I don't know how many times I've seen it where, food in the refrigerator, for example, rental insurance will cover your food for power loss, or even if the refrigerator. So rental insurance, I think it's like less than $20 a month, but it can literally save you thousands. And also car insurance. My daughter and I were hit a little over a year ago by a drunk driver head on. They were going 70 miles an hour, and he had no insurance. I had insurance, but I had just recently paid my car off. So I dropped my insurance literally a month prior. Long story short, I had paid a lot of money into my car over the years to pay it off. One of the only things I've ever owned in my life. And I still ended up having to come out of pocket for my own. It was just like I threw my car away because I did not have the correct limit of insurance. So not only is it important to have it, but to know the limits you're supposed to have. Should somebody with no insurance hit you?
I mean, that's the same thing with renter's insurance.
Exactly.
I mean, you spent, I could spend $20 a month.
Yep.
That $20 only maybe cover
up to
like $75,000, and in the house, my apartment caught on fire. It paid up to that month, but it was over $200,000 worth of damage.
Yeah, yeah. Pay attention to your coverage.
But
for sure.
But it's one on there that we need to understand, and we need to get more involved, and we need to be really conscious about in our community. That's life insurance, And think about it. I know a young man that just passed recently, and I know it's heart-wrenching for the family, but it's sad to see that you have to have these GoFundMes, you have to have these dinner sales, you have to have these things to be able to bury someone.
Just bury someone.
To bury someone. And funerals are expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. So, and but you also, like everything else, you got to know what kind of policy you're getting, because some policies, are just final expenses. That means they pay for the funeral. They don't pay off like debts or anything such as that. But I think we as a community really need to look at having life insurance, because too many of us are going and we're leaving burdens on family members.
And you know what else, mentioning or thinking about life insurance, other cultures, some cultures, not all cultures, but there are other cultures that's what they believe in, as far as passing the inheritance down. It's life insurance, and they bank on it. But for some of us, we don't even want to have the conversation.
Right.
It's like, don't call me with that.
But I think that's a bad way to be.
It is.
And just the preparation. Like, I know my parents, they've already told my brother and I, they've went and they picked out their plots. They have everything covered already.
That's the way and I think you should move.
The Amish, we talk about that all the time with the Amish. Their life insurance is basically the community. That is their GoFundMe. When someone passes, everybody comes together. I mean, their funerals are crazy, just crazy. It's almost like a wedding. Like, it's that organized, and everybody comes together, and that is their life insurance.
And
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the village right there.
Yeah, the village.
And we're going to move on, but this is an important matter that we need to continue to stress in our community, because if you think about it, from babies beyond, the infant mortality rate in our community is high. We die from more, conditions, health conditions, things such as that. But we're not prepared. Like you said, my mom has everything lined up. She told my sister and my oldest daughter everything what she wants, and it's all lined up, so it doesn't have to be like that. But I've seen family members that, they're burying family members months out now because they got to raise the money to be able to, and it's simple. I mean, if it's just something cheap, because you don't want to leave that expense. But I would agree with Doc. We need to think long term too. Think about if you're married and you pass and you're the breadwinner. Where's that income going to come from? What's going to sustain that family?
Right.
we don't think of these things. We just live day by day. But if you had a husband or you had children, you know, who's gonna sustain them?
Right. Especially when you're young. I mean, I would like to know what the average life expectancy is now, because it seems like our young people, I mean, I feel like when I was growing up, you know, people passed when they were in their, you know, much older. And now, you know, 40s, 50s. So really, like you said, you have a whole family that you've left behind.
Yeah, just something to think about. And we'll probably talk about this at another time. Have another show or a topic about this, but
Definitely.
we definitely need to talk about that. I just got to turn it because of the glare, Jer. The difference between needs and wants.
Wow.
I need everything I want.
I knew you had something good.
Oh, I like that.
Say it
I
again.
need everything I
I
want.
need everything I want. I feel
I mean,
you.
it's just no, not really, but I mean, if you
That's
look
what I'm
at it,
thinking that
you have to
regards.
understand what you actually really need. And, you know, I got 2 kids, and they feel they need everything they ask for. And I'm
True.
like, no, you don't. That's not gonna happen. No, I gotta pay this for you. No, can't do that. But people don't understand, when you get what you actually need, it's more sustainable.
Hmm.
Every now and again, there's nothing wrong with going to get what you want, but if you get what you actually need, I don't need to spend $150 for a pair of shoes. I don't need to spend $400 for a jacket. I don't.
No, I'm just thinking about, there's some people listening to that right now that's thinking, no, I need that because I there's a certain status that comes with those types of
Well,
things
here's
that
the fun-
make me feel good, not me, because that's not my story, but that makes me feel good.
Well, if you,
And so they just feel like they have to
if
have
you
that
think
in their
about it,
life.
one of the richest men in the world, he shops at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
He
that's
do
a-
not go out and buy a Gucci watch or ride around in a G500. He drives a 96 DTS Cadillac
Yeah.
to this day. So let's think about it.
All right.
So I don't need to spend $12,000 for a Rolex. Ocho Cinco, or Ocho, what's the boy name? Ocho,
Chad Johnson.
Chad
Ocho,
Johnson.
Ocho
That's
Cinco.
easier.
yeah. He was
Ocho
talking.
Cinco.
Went from
Yeah.
Ocho to Chad real
That's
quick.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
well,
He was talking.
That's Chad spelled backwards.
Yeah, I was watching him talk to Shannon Sharp, and he broke it down. He's like, everything I bought when y'all thought I was shining, he said I went to Claire's.
Mm-hmm. His
My
diamond.
diamond earrings was fake. My
Yeah.
chains
Oh, that
was
cubic
fake.
Z will come in there for you.
So he was like, I don't own a watch. He said, I asked you, what time is it? He told me, he said, that was free.
Yeah. Funny thing, the story. I watched that same interview, and this man,
Dang.
his rookie contract was about, I think it was $7 or $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed at the facility
For a year.
for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
They finally had to kick him out. He stayed at the facility. He said they had chefs. They had he had all the amenities he needed.
When you say facility, what facility?
In Cincinnati, I
Bengals.
don't
Yeah, the
know
Bengals.
what
Oh,
this.
he was-
Yeah, he
Yeah,
stayed at
in
the
Cincinnati
at the
Bengals.
stadium.
Yeah, at the stadium.
He stayed at this facility. He said they had a chef.
Well,
they had
it was
a
at the training
concierge
facility.
service.
Like the training camp or something?
Yeah, the
like
training
that?
facility. Yeah, that's where he stayed at for 2
Wow.
years.
Yeah, and that's where you say what you need and what he said. All he needed a place to lay his head. He needed a place to shower. He needed a place to eat. And those
He
are
had all of it.
had all of it.
Really, that's what all of us.
Yeah, that's all.
need.
Those are our basic needs: food, shelter, clothing. But as Doc V said, I think a lot of our upbringing has taught us that you're not a certain style, person, stature, unless you're meeting, this certain kind of price range. And
So parents beware, you just may be creating a monster.
yeah, because
Yeah, I
think
mean,
about
But
it.
I mean, that's the truth. Because
You're right.
if you know how many people dress those little babies up so
Oh, yeah.
cute, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't got those babies, so I can't do that. I don't know what I would do if I had them. But you're thinking, how much did these gym shoes cost?
Right.
He got on Jordans,
And they gonna grow out
and
of it in
they-
a couple of months.
Yeah,
not
I was just gonna say that,
not
yeah.
even that, couple
For
of
a
days.
month, for a month. But that's
but that's what they do.
that's where my mind went when I thought of needs versus wants was what E said is there are a lot of very wealthy gentlemen who, in interviews will talk about, when they talk about vehicles, and they'll say, well, you drive a blah, 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 blah. Why don't you have XYZ? And they'll be like, why? That they're just, and that's the difference between that person who can afford it and the person who drives something that they literally can't even afford the gas to put in the vehicle just for a status symbol.
Status symbol.
Yeah.
You made me think about the Corvette Club. If you don't have a Corvette, I'm just saying, I know it's a Corvette Club, but
Right.
I'm saying that means something
Yeah,
to
right.
those people.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
now
you mean,
there's a Tesla.
you just have to understand. I mean,
But
me and my uncle was talking when I went to Detroit. He has a nice Lincoln truck, not the Navigator, but the truck.
Mhm.
Nice house, bad house. They live so simple. I mean, literally just simple. His truck. I mean, he ain't worked at Chrysler. He retired from Chrysler. Him and my aunt, but the money that he gets. I mean, he literally he'd say, "Okay, we could go to Paris right now," and won't even dent him. But guess what? He lives so simple and so modest, where it's just like, dude, I built my house for me to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just relax. And he's like, I work my butt off. Yes, I could splurge if I want to. He said, for what?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Doc V hit on something, and we're gonna spin again. But think about it, Jill. You're a parent. Eric, you're a parent, and I am a parent. Think about it. How many of us have changed our children's view on needs and wants? Because your daughter came and told you she needed a calculator or a laptop, or she's a certain thing she said she needed. Instead of going to get a Dell or
Yeah.
a Acer's the cheapest, you're going to get her a Mac. Why are you going to get her a Mac? Because that's what they say they need. And I'm going to tell
you're
you.
guilty, huh?
Yeah, I'm guilty. Well, no, I'm not guilty. There's another parent that I
You know,
know.
something? You always put it on. You always put that on your wife.
It is because it's the truth.
No, it's not.
It's the truth. I ask my kids.
I put that on my daughter's dad too, because he's that.
Ask my oldest daughter. She said I used to hate asking you for stuff because you would always say no.
Well, see,
Because you don't say no.
No, she said I would always
Well,
say
see,
no.
you
I have a
always say
different. I have a different way of doing that. When they say they want X, Y, Z, you come up with half. I get the other half. You don't come up with the other half. I can't get.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do it. I mean, I got to that
Like
point
that
because
strategy.
at some time, I mean, at one point, Dad, okay,
All the time.
okay. You know, like, wait a minute. I'll keep saying okay. My money ain't looking right for
It
me.
ain't as long as you thought it was.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I make them. Hey, you gotta give me half.
A wild card. All right.
Wow.
We were talking about needs and wants. What was your last big splurge? What was your last big splurge? What was the last thing you wasted or you overspent on?
Mm. Let's hear from the people with the children.
Well, mine is still in the planning stages. My biggest one is that, a vacation. We're going on a cruise in July. That was the last big splurge. Well, and paying on that. So that was the last big splurge. But other than
That's
that,
not a splurge.
That's it. What is
That's not a splurge. Honestly, that's a need right there.
yeah, it's a need. But, for some people, it's an excess.
No, that's a need. Everybody need a break.
I'm not arguing with you because I'm
just
going.
saying, no, I'm just saying everybody need a break. So sometimes I don't feel a vacation and you spent on a vacation is a want. It's something sometimes a person actually need to hit that reset button and come back and say, okay, I'm refreshed. I can move.
I see where you can.
That's it. Well, yeah.
Mine was probably last Wednesday at the BP, a full tank of gas and a dozen eggs. Like the last thing I
Stop,
splurged.
Jill.
You bought
No,
a
really.
dozen, you bought a dozen eggs at the BP?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No, it's probably been years since I've even been able to splurge. If I want something splurge worthy, like
It doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, what is out of your budget or out of your ordinary? That was
Everything.
excessive of your want, of your
everything.
need.
I honestly don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
Wow.
That's how uneventful. Like,
Oh, come on, Jill.
really?
See? What was the last?
Even with Macy, I mean, have
Really?
you splurged on Macy's?
No, that's her dad does
Oh, okay.
splurges. But like I
Okay.
do my own hair, I don't do my nail. Like I just don't
Right.
really have any splurges.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Me?
E? Yeah.
$35 cigar.
A 35 one cigar?
One
Is
cigar.
that expensive for a cigar?
Yes, that's
Which-
expensive for
yeah.
yeah.
Like a fancy
They
one?
they go higher, but
They go
you know,
higher, but
but-
yeah, I spent $35 for a cigar.
Wow.
that must have been a good one.
Smoke it on down, huh?
It was.
But it tastes good. It was
I mean, I
good.
like cigars, so I mean, I have a bunch of cigars at home.
But that had to be a special one, I'm saying.
It
So
was just something
just-
that was like, okay, I want to taste this.
and
It caught my
smell
eye. It
good.
was like, let me go ahead and get that.
But I just want to know, did it make you feel good? Did it make you feel some type of way while you was puffing, like puff, puff?
That's a different kind of
Peace.
cigar.
I'm saying, did it have something that soothed your soul?
It would have been more than $35. I can guarantee that.
No,
I'm just asking,
I'm not-
No,
I
like,
mean,
what's the
like-
highest, what is the highest price for a cigar? One
man,
You can get
cigar?
one for-
You get a cigar for about $100, $200.
Yeah.
If you really
Not
wanted
a
to.
pack.
For
no,
one?
it's a cigar.
For one
Yes.
cigar, yes.
Yes, you can get,
And
and it
people
depends
buy
on
it.
the market though.
Yeah.
So here it'd be $200. California, New York, you can pay up to
Hit us up if you
$500.
have ever spent over $50 for a cigar. I
Just
wanna
one.
know. I just want to know if
Wow.
you are a real person.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
ain't, like I said,
I want to know about that.
I bought a Cuban,
Yeah,
and those are not cheap at all.
Doc V.
Oh, nah. I would say not personal, but just stuff for the salon.
Yeah.
I would say, gritting my teeth and paying for it. And like, whoa, you sure you didn't ring something up twice?
Oh, I didn't have those days.
That wasn't a splurge.
That's an investment.
That's a business
an
investment.
That's an
Well,
investment.
that's why I said I can't really say, but
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, where I had to just, but you know what? Even though it's something that I didn't necessarily need it.
Right.
I wanted it.
But I'm gonna ask you a
So,
question.
that's
You
why I
you
say
said
that.
you didn't need it, but you wanted it.
I
But
wanted
that
it.
particular item you bought can make you more money, right?
Or
Well,
add value
it
to your
just,
salon.
Yeah, it adds value.
Okay.
It make the people that work there feel good. So
There you go.
yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. I don't like the splurge though. I ain't nothing wrong with it.
You go. I know what you're gonna splurge on as I read that, but I bet you bought them new edition tickets.
No, I didn't, but I
What
am
is
going to
it?
see Raheem Devine.
You
They're
gonna
gonna be in
see?
Indy, ain't they?
Yeah, they're gonna be in
Raheem
Indy.
Devine. I mean, okay, yeah, we back.
Couple of weeks.
I gotta check that out.
April, sometime in April.
got-
You're not going to see
Okay,
any?
well, speaking of new edition and money and tickets, what about the Beyonce tickets? Now you talking about splurging. Some people about to splurge because
$2,500. Oh man.
Okay,
That's crazy.
First
That's
and
crazy.
That's
foremost,
crazy.
For $2,500,
Same.
that concert better, and better.
25. No,
They better do some things.
I think.
Y'all want to be the village and send
Of
me
course
to the
not.
Beyonce?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell you that right
Okay,
now.
I'm gonna just sit on the one.
Yeah,
I've seen her before.
Yeah, all right.
We
yeah.
just watch it on TV.
Yeah, pretty much. They gonna YouTube it.
Get a better seat.
Yeah.
Is investing safe? Is that what that says?
yes,
safe.
it's investing safe.
Yes.
What are you investing in?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's
Yeah.
That's the
careful.
question. That's the question.
What happened with all the crypto
Right,
investments?
right.
And then it flipped, didn't it? I mean, did it get back to?
Nah,
good or
nah.
what? I'm just saying. I'm thinking about that because what was that man that he got him? Didn't he?
Yeah, he got him. Well, it's been a couple because I know a couple of years ago those twin brothers that they fled to Africa
Oh, yeah.
and they ended up catching them. And then the most recent guy got convicted. Now, Shaq, Stephen Curry,
That's
and some other sports figure, they're involved in a lawsuit
Because
behind
they
it.
were endorsing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but what's that one man made off? What was he making off with?
Oh, that was a pyramid.
That's a
scheme.
pyramid scheme.
He never offered you anything. I told you to invest in me, and you invested X, Y, and Z. So I told you I'm gonna make your money. So E invests with me. I pay E back off of a percentage of what you already paid me. So E gonna put more into my investment, and he gonna go tell his friends that I made him a
Okay.
couple of dollars, and sooner or later it's a lot of smoke and
That's
mirrors.
how he
and
was
that-
making
yeah.
his money.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what are some good things? I mean, I got two smart men sitting next to me. What are some good investments right now besides crypto that actually is number 7 on the top 7 investments?
Yes.
I would say
For 2023.
I'm gonna be quite honest. You better look in the steel industry.
Still. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that out the gate. I mean, I work at this at a place, and let's just say my stocks started off at $44 2 years ago.
And they up there.
They're like $149 a stock right now.
Okay.
In a
So-
couple years,
Your
you said?
phone might start ringing.
Nope.
You better stop. This is not
Nuh-uh.
a dating
Ain't
site.
no dates,
You better
no.
stop that
Mm-mm.
showcasing that
You can
money.
hang that one up. I ain't showcasing no money. Guess where that's sitting? Still.
in steel.
Steel.
Still is still. I
It's
feel you.
still
I
is
feel
in
you.
still, and I ain't coming out.
It gonna be
No,
still.
yeah, peace, be still.
Gotcha. Okay, and so I was just saying, any other?
Well, realistically,
Right.
if you watch it, realistically, it depends on how much you have. But they always say oil is always a safe bet. Look at the price of gas, and it changes
Yeah.
Sounds
regularly.
good, but that wasn't on the list. I just was wondering if
Yeah.
y'all was gonna hit any of the
Pharmaceuticals,
Wasn't on
pharmaceuticals.
there.
Are,
But I tell you, short-term CDs.
Tech,
Yeah.
really techie stuff.
yeah, Texas.
We're gonna get more into that.
Short-term
also-
CDs,
But
and
but also-
cannabis.
Cannabis,
Yeah,
Not
it
on the list either, but
The cannabis is
$1 billion.
is $1
I
billion.
would
dollars.
think.
Yeah, but Doc V, and you said it. The best investment is you can find out what you love and what you're good at and what you can do.
It's
Invest
yourself.
in yourself.
Yes.
Start making money off of you.
Yes.
Be your own
That
brand.
Was, that was mine.
Be your
Now
own
that you
brand.
say that.
Start finding ways that you can. All of us have a skill, talent,
Yes.
or gift that
Yes.
we can access to make us a little bit extra money.
That's
But
exactly
I
right.
understand, and we always say it's time. That's another thing you got to think about: investing your time,
Yeah.
not only your money. So it all depends on what you want to invest in. But you're always your best investment will be you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I posted
love
something on Facebook, and then we're going to probably spend one more time the other day that said, you know, a lot of us go to work for, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day for someone else. And then we get home, that we are creating their passive income.
Right.
So then we get home and do nothing to work on ourselves, to put ourselves in that position so that we are not, we're not being paid to build someone else's dream.
Right.
But so many, me included, I think you're just so exhausted at the end of the day, or you just don't put, the effort in that we don't do anything to invest in us after doing
That's right.
8 to 12 hours for somebody else.
But you know
That's
something,
right.
I mean, you like you said, some of us be too tired.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Too tired.
absolutely.
I mean, if you work
tired.
where I work at, some
Yes,
days I get
too
off work,
tired.
just be like, screw everything,
Yep.
leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. But here's the I would say one of your biggest investments. You said yourself, Clarence, and that's great. And now mine is also somewhere in that area, but you got to invest into your mental health.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Come on, Eve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
your
saying
mentals.
some good stuff
Sometimes
here.
your mentals is the best investment
All the
because
time.
if you can't think or if you're not at a peaceful state in your
Yes.
mind, there's no way you can be
That is so
any help to anybody or any job or anything else, let alone yourself. So your best investment is yourself, but I would say your best investment is your mental stability.
100%.
And as I guess you're gonna spin it. Why?
Well,
Are you good?
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
good.
good. We good.
That wouldn't be to her
on-
best mental
So
health.
listen to this. So when you said that, and Jill, even when you were talking, I was thinking you was gonna say you do all of this, and then you get home and you fall into this crappy piece of bed.
That too.
So I was just gonna say
That too.
when I said, "Oh, I take it back." So one of the things I would say that I invested in for myself is a very nice, comfortable,
Absolutely.
bed and accessories.
I agree with that 100%.
So you
Before
have that mental.
before we get out of here, I just have a quick
So tell me
question.
that.
Daylight savings time.
Ooh.
Has that messed with you guys? I mean, I know it's only an hour
I-
difference,
I am still dragging.
but
from
I
that.
cannot. I got
Yeah.
1 hour of sleep Sunday night. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I'm still dragging.
I'm not
from that.
kidding.
I'm-
1 hour of sleep,
I think I pretended like it didn't happen.
and I need 8. So I'm still.
tell
I'm
you.
looking forward to tonight.
Yeah.
So
That getting up and going to work in the dark, even though I already go to work in the dark and be like, man, this is gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
Because before that daylight hit, I'm working in the dark.
yeah. Well, we have 6 days until
that part.
spring. 6 days until spring. So I want to
Hopefully.
thank you for joining us this evening. 8:30 tomorrow night. Financial institutions, where we dig a little deeper into what we spoke on tonight. And it's in the news right now, financial institutions, big time. So thank you. And as we always say, E,
Always protect your mind.
thank you. We'll see you next time.